Hey, friend, welcome back to the show. If you are in your car or folding laundry, or maybe you're on a walk or hiding in your bathroom for that 5 minutes of quiet, I see you. I see you, and I'm really glad that you're here. It's been a whirlwind of a year, and 2025 has now come to an end. That level or chapter is now done, and we are opening up 2026 in this new phase of season 3, which is all about tuning into that inner voice, not the loud one that swoops in, that's super judgy, or the panicky, anxious one, but like the real one, the true one, the grounded one, the one that's been maybe trying to get your attention for a while, like, hey, over here, because life be life and over here, right? Today, we're going to break down what I'm going to call Intuition 101 because I think at times it can become really overcomplicated. And I want to make this easy and smooth, practical, and doable. Okay. So, a lot of times, by and large, I would say that people think that intuition is like a hit, like almost like a lightning bolt of boom, clarity, or knowing exactly what to do every time it just comes to you and you just do, or suddenly becoming this like calm, enlightened person, human that like knows exactly what to do every time. But that's not real life. And today I want to talk about what intuition actually feels like in daily life, like in normal moments, like the messy ones, and the I don't have a flippin' clue what I'm doing right now moments, right? So by the end of this episode, I want you to feel more confident that you do have the intuition, the less pressure to get it right, if you will, and maybe be a little bit excited about starting to tune in and listen to that intuition again, you know? So let's start here because this really, really matters. Okay. So, what intuition is and what it isn't. Okay. Intuition is not loud. It doesn't yell at you. It doesn't rush you. It doesn't insult you, judge, or, talk to yourself. Okay. That's your inner critic. That's a different voice. That's different energy. It's what I like to call your brain dragon. Intuition is quiet. It's subtle. It's like a subtle tap. It's calm, neutral. It's almost annoyingly simple. It's because we like to complicate things as humans, but it is almost annoyingly simple. It's the gentle nudge that is like, this isn't it. This isn't it. Or something feels off here. Or whoa, let's slow down, slow down. Or this feels right, even if I don't have an explanation for it or I don't have the reasons behind it, but it just feels like the right thing. And this is the key that needs to be talked about a little bit more, right? Your intuition often shows up in your body before it shows up in your thoughts. You might have maybe your chest is super tight. Like maybe you're just or you're I don't know. I like to wear my shoulders as earrings, so maybe they're like up like this, right? Or maybe it's a deep I have a relative that does that all the time and I'm like, "What's wrong?" Just because of the deep exhale, right? Maybe it's like a heavy feeling like you got something in your shoulders or on your back that's like super heavy. It could be a sense of relief or a pull towards something or a push away from something. Um, Intuition doesn't come with like this full plan of steps to do and la la la. It comes with a little signal, almost like a little light, like beep over here, right? And most of us have learned to ignore these signals because we've been told or just subconsciously trained to be practical. No, you need to be grateful, be nice, be logical. Don't rock the boat, don't rock the boat. So if you feel disconnected from your intuition right now, it doesn't mean that it's gone. It doesn't mean that it went somewhere. It means you stopped trusting it because at some point it didn't feel safe or the fear was so big it kept you stuck. Okay. So let me give you a real life example here. So there was a time in my life when, I don't know, I guess everything on the outside looked totally fine, right? All the things I was supposed to be doing and showing up, and I was handling all the business. But internally, I was like, this feels off. This feels off. And it wasn't like super dramatic, it was noticeable. It wasn't like a total breakdown. This was just like of what was going on, right? This was just a quiet feeling of something is off, something's not right. And I kept ignoring it because I didn't have a reason behind it. I didn't have, the breakdown and the things. I didn't have all of that. Nothing sounded good enough for why I should be off. Nothing was wrong enough to justify a shift or a change, right? But my body knew by being off before my brain knew. I felt like heavy waking up, like, I felt drained sometimes after conversations that used to feel super easy. Or, I felt, maybe relief when I imagined something different. Like when I pictured it and imagined, even if it kind of scared me. Okay. This is my body knowing before my brain. This was intuition, not saying, here's exactly what you need to do, step 1 through 5 or whatever. It's just saying that this, whatever this is not sustainable. It's not sustainable. And every single time I pushed it aside, I ignored it, the signal got louder. It was bigger. It was more exhaustion, more frustration, more feeling disconnected from myself, right? So until I eventually hit the pause button and stopped and asked myself, what if, like, I had to check myself, like, what if this quiet feeling is information for me and it's not the problem? And that question and process changed everything for me. Pausing and asking myself and getting real with myself on this question, right? So let's make this super practical and chat about this a little bit more. Like what intuition feels like in daily life and give some real everyday ways that intuition can show up. Um, Maybe when you read like a text message, you instantly like feel tension and you're like, and like things are off. That could be a way. Or you say yes to something and then you're immediately like, oh, I shouldn't have said yes to that. I should have said no. Like you have that regret feeling. Or maybe you meet someone and you feel oddly safe. That's a way that your body's giving you a signal, right? You're about to explain yourself, and then you have this huge urge to stop. You feel relief when maybe a plan gets canceled in the busy schedule. You feel energized thinking about maybe an option. Like you feel energized about thinking about one option you have and drained about the other option. Like, seems really exhausting with this over here. I kind of like that. That's intuition. It's not flashy. It's not big. It's not like bold, bold bolts of lightning, if you will. It's just honest. And intuition, I want to add, does not mean that it's fear free. It doesn't mean that it's fear free because sometimes you get those hits and that information, if you will, of your body knowing, and it can be scary because it might be something you've never done before, or it's new, or whatever. And you're just like, oh, I don't know. It's a different type of fear, right? Sometimes it says, like, this is scary, but it's the right, it feels right. Fear is loud and urgent. It feels uncomfortable, crazy, right? Intuition is like steady. It's like grounded. One screams, "What if this goes wrong? Blah, blah. What if it's not the right decision? What if blah, blah, blah?" Makes you second guess things, right? The other one is, "This matters. This feels right." So let's dive into the toolbox. Let's open our toolboxes here because we're going to be adding some more tools today. I'm going to give you, I think, four, three or four. Nope, three. I'm giving you three tools today that you're going to go ahead and put in your toolbox. So the first one is called the body check-in. Okay. So before you make a decision and you want to open this up and tune into your intuition, I want you to ask yourself, does this feel heavy and weighted, or does it feel lighter, and a word could be expansive or freeing, flow, easy, right? Are you getting tight and like, your chest is tight, your shoulders are up here, or is it like softening ease? Don't overthink it. Just the first thing that comes to you. Like when you ask yourself, what's the first thing that comes to you? Don't, you know, make logical things and lists and blah blah blah. What's the first thing? Just boom, what's the first thing that comes to you? Tool number two is the neutral question. So instead of what should I do, what feels most supportive for me right now? Think about that for a second. What should I do? Or, what feels the most supportive for me right now? One feels frantic, fear-filled, right? And one is pause, what, and asking yourself the question, checking in with yourself. Supportive, right? Not logical, not convenient. Supportive. Tool number three, the whisper rule. So if the thought comes in and it's nice, kind, steady, it's worth listening to. If it's like shaming, rushed, panicked, judgy, rude, that's not intuition. That's not intuition. Okay. So if all else fails, how does it sound to you? Calm, kind, steady, easy, or does it sound like you're talking to yourself? Okay. Knowing the difference between your dragon and your true self are going to be key of the voice. And that might be the first step, understanding what is and what isn't your dragon or your true self, right? So we're going to get into the challenge for the week. Now that you have your tools for your toolbox, we're going to get into the challenge for this next week. And I want you to keep it simple. I want you to, for the next 7 days, I want you to pause once a day, put your hand on your chest and ask what you need right now. And then honor that in a small way by like sticking a toe into whatever that need is. It could be very simple to, you need to drink more water, or like drink water, or eat some food, or say no, or take a break, speak up, take a rest, sit down, things like that, right? It doesn't have to be overhaul and a big grandiose thing of your life. It's just one little small thing, and it's rebuilding trust one little small step at a time, one stick a toe in at a time, one small way at a time. Because trust is built up in those tiny moments that you honor with yourself and not always in the big dramatic lesson, right? But here's what I want you to remember. Your intuition is not something you need to find and search for and all of that. It is something that you just have to stop ignoring because it's in there. It's been with you through every single phase of your life, even when you didn't listen, even when you doubted yourself. And the fact that you're here listening to this, maybe some curiosity is here again, right? That could be intuition too. You're not behind. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You're reconnecting. You're reconnecting. You can get back online, if you will, with yourself, right? What what is next for you doesn't require it to be perfect in a certain way. It's just taking a little pause and being present and real with yourself. I want to say that I'm really proud of you for doing this work, and I cannot wait to keep walking you through this process of phase two together, and I will talk soon. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the conversation, learned something new, or got some gems to take away that will boost your week. I release a new episode each week, so make sure to click that follow button to not miss what is coming next. If you love the show or want to share a story, send me a quick message. I love hearing from listeners. If you know someone who needs this episode in their life, go ahead and share it with them. I'm sure they would love you for it. If you are looking to connect more, check out the show notes for all the social links, my website. I would love to hear how this episode helped you and what you loved about it. If there's a topic you want to hear about, send that too. All right, ladies, now is the time to release your inner power. Are you feeling like you're behind or something's off or you've tried to do something new and you just can't get on that wagon? You just keep falling off? Guess what? You're human and life doesn't follow a perfect timeline. Maybe the year didn't start the way that you hoped. Maybe your goals got buried under real life stuff. But here's the truth. You're allowed to begin again anytime you want, whether it's July, September, December, January. Progress doesn't have a deadline. That's why now is the perfect time to join Empower Her. We meet you where you are, help you build momentum, and remind you that you don't have to do this alone. There's still so much time left. Let's make it count together.